What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone for a post-game live show. Just finished watching the Fiorentina game against Roma, which ended in 2-2. Obviously, did not help us. It would be much better if Roma would have lost that game, but the gap remains, I think, 10 points to fifth place. I'm pretty sure it is. Is it 10 points? I need to check actually. Um, like if you go off the top process, that fifth place is also a Champions League, so it's 11 points of Atalanta. Considering at this moment in time that fifth place is also a Champions League spot, that's just what it is. But we're gonna talk about us. We're gonna talk about the game, the way we. I don't know. Like I don't even know how to call it. Fumble, bottle, whatever. If you look at the game today, we gave up two shots, and they scored twice. Like, I don't think we got outplayed by Atalanta today at all. I think we did just enough to win the game in the end. Was it a massively deserved win? Would have been a beautiful win, whatever. No, not at all. But I thought I thought Atalanta were not good as well. I thought they had a couple of good moments and they capitalized on that. And that's about it. Not saying we were fantastic or anything like that. However, we did enough to get that over the line today. And yes, you can call in, click the link in the chat or scan the QR code, but clicking the link in the chat is potentially easier. But I think we did just enough to win the game in the end and never talk about that game anymore. Just what I said in my preview, just win the game. If it's ugly, whatever, you just win that game and you move on. And we failed to do that again today. At the end of the day, we can talk about we had a chance at the end to win it. It's one win out of 7. It's 6 points out of 21. That uh, that has nothing to do with today missing chances. Like that's what I've always said. Like look at the big picture. Do not look game. Don't live game to game. That's that's how you will get lost in the big picture because it's 3 years now. And the worrying thing is actually the worrying thing is not even the style of play, because if we were scraping wins and that's how we try to win games, fine. The big point now is the mental breakdowns throughout those 3 years, and actually always midway, almost through a season, we collapse completely. Like actually completely. Like this is a mental breakdown, from epical proportions. Like the positive is that we build up so much credit in the bank points wise that we are quote unquote safe at this moment in time. It's 11 from Atalanta, considering that fifth place is a Champions League spot, and you're quote unquote safe. Other than that, this is relegation form. Like it's one win out of 7, 6 points out of 21. It's relegation form. That's how teams at the bottom of the league get relegated. And again, we can talk about a misplaced pass and miscontrol. It's 7 games now. That's not about miscontrol and all those things. That's just a mindset and much more. It's becoming scary. I'm not gonna lie, it's becoming scary. Um, Marlon is saying, excuse me, we need a coach with new ideas, a positive approach to the football we play. Act like he wants the team to score goals. Who actually think have our best attacks together. Yeah, I mean today. I thought the second half was better because we actually stepped up the pitch a little bit and we tried to, I don't know, create anything, even if it was at times scrappy and whatever. At least the intentions were there. Excuse me. They were not there in the first half. Keep in mind, Atalanta played on Tuesday, I think, against Lisbon. We are playing once a week. We're playing once a week, and every time we are out there, I have actually no idea what we do during the week. I just have no idea. Good players or bad players, I don't know what the game plan is. I have absolutely no idea. And even today, I was looking at it and I was like, yeah, this is going to be a freestyle job if we're going to win it again, because there's nothing that is very repetitive. It's not, you look at something, you're like, I can see this. I can see that, and we can build on that. I can see those combinations week in, week out. Even if technically the players are not good enough, at least I see what we're trying to do. I don't see what we're trying to do, and it's March. Actually, it's 3 years in March, and I have no idea what the game plan is at times. I don't. Locatelli was awful today. I'm happy at least we are creating chances. Yeah, Ilin put in several crosses to nobody in the box. Should have scored one or two more easily if they were all in the same wavelength. Junior, on Junior, really quickly, because I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, he lost a couple of possession." Yeah, who doesn't in this team? Kostic did that. Kostic did that on a consistent basis as well. There's more threat out of Junior. Keep in mind, he's not a wingback. He's not a wingback. Defensively, I don't think he was poor defensively, but you're asking him to put energy in things he's actually not that good at, or he shouldn't be doing that. I think you can still get much more out of a player like Junior, but as a wingback position, I think he's doing fairly enough. The difference is he doesn't put in a brain dead cross. If he doesn't see anyone there, he will cut it back and build up again. If it's Kostic, he doesn't care. If it's Vlahovic against 10 defenders, he will put in that crappy cross. That's not what Junior did. And it actually did in the whole game. He's more direct. He's more versatile, in my opinion. And he could put a good cross in. In the second half, he put in a fantastic cross. And actually, if you're a striker, you just walk it in. You tap it in or you head it in. It was that perfect of a cross. And absolutely nobody reacted to that. And that was just as well pointless, because he was putting in good crosses. Johnny saying, I know you don't like him, and I always say no, but just bring in Conte already. The guy fixes the club, and I'm just tired of this. Yeah, I don't want old things. That's just me. But I see where you're coming from. We need players and a manager with strong mentality, and some balls. He's better than Kostic. Again, people, you can call in if you click the link. But on the game itself, really quickly again, I don't think it wasn't one of the poorest games. I've seen worse this season. Like I've seen worse games from us this season. This was not good, but it wasn't as bad as other games, in my opinion. It still is not good enough, If you just look at that first half, we had nothing. I think Chiesa had a forced header wasn't Miretti who put that cross in. Other than that, it was just absolutely nothing. It was nothing, and it was extremely worrying. You can see that goal, that first, and it was a good, the idea behind that goal from Atalanta was fantastic. However, they were setting up that free kick, and I was like, they have 4 players out of there, and we have 3 defenders. Doesn't really make sense, but whatever. And obviously, that happens. And after the game, if it wasn't already bad enough, Pasalic comes out and he said, man, we tried to do this so many times, but it's never possible because the opponents study us and they know, hey, this is going to happen. That was a direct shot towards, I don't know, the coaching staff, not just Allegri, because I don't expect Allegri to set out everything. That doesn't happen at the club, but just the coaching staff and even the players on the field. Not one of them was like, hey, hold up. Like, one guy is loose. Like, one guy is free. It didn't happen. And that's an issue as well. Let me see. And that's an issue as well. However, the second half, we had no option, obviously. The second half starts, and I'm like, okay, it's a bit better. We are stepping up high on the pitch. We move the ball a bit better, a bit fluent, with more intent, and the goals we scored were good. And they were very simple. The goals we scored were extremely. We didn't do anything special. Just pick up the ball, give and go, overlap, and you're in the box. Second one, pick out McKennie, lays it off, Milik puts it away. Very easy, simple football. And I'm not going to say that happens, you're not going to score every single time you do that. But we don't do that often. We isolate players as a team, and we try to ask them to do something ridiculous. at times. That was not the case with these goals. But then again, we can see really quickly, and the biggest issue is, yes, we can see goals, but after we can see goals, we have a period of time, and too bad it was toward the period during the duration of that period was until the end of the game, where we are shook and we're already confused and we're already kind of clueless, even when when it's leveled, when we're ahead. Now imagine this team being behind again or just concede a goal. They have no idea what's happening. Like Danilo made that very clear post game. He said mentally it's not good enough. Like, it's just not. We switch off. They switch off. You know, Inter game happened 6 games ago. Like, it's done. Like, you cannot change that anymore. It is what it is. That doesn't mean you need to just go out there and lay down and everybody just runs over you. Because that happened again today. Against actually very poor Atalanta side. If I'm being completely honest, they were not good. They're not good. They had 2 shots to put it away, and that's about it. But again, if you win 1 game out of 7, you cannot blame it on a missed chance here and there. It's 1 game out of 7. It has nothing to do with luck or missed chance. The big picture, you need to look at it, and it's just not good enough. That's just as simple as it is. And then to top it off, if it wasn't already, like, you're chasing a game, and you give Yildiz garbage time minutes. Yildiz was playing so well. I have no idea what happened there. He was playing so well starting games, and I'm not even talking about scoring goals because he didn't score a goal for a couple of weeks. And I came on and said I don't really care about that, because I don't expect him to go out on a run and score 10 goals from now until the end of the season. I'm not expecting that, and even 5 assists. I'm not expecting that. But he was playing very well, and since he called them out, since he said, yeah, Verona, he wasn't good because he was tired of being asked about Yildiz, he's getting garbage time minutes or not enough minutes in very bad situations. He brings on Alexandro before Yildiz, and I don't want to hear the excuse of, Alexandro is better building off from the back. What does that even mean? Like, we are chasing a game. Yildiz should have been on the pitch way earlier. Actually, some might say he should have started, but whatever. You give him 5 minutes, and then you want to talk about Alexandro coming on. And I'm not saying Alexandro was poor or so, but it doesn't make sense. Like, you're chasing a game. Play your best players. He refuses to find a solution to get Yildiz in that team. Milik scored that goal. Other than that, he was not good. Especially in that first half, that was hot trash. That was actually a very poor half. But he scored the goal, and post-game Allegri was like, hey, it was fantastic, amazing, great game. But then he calls out Yildiz for the Verona game, which he was better than what Milik did today. That's what I don't like. And then he follows it up by saying, with the youngest team in the last 3 years. I'm not sure what that means, by the way. I'm so confused what that means. But let me bring on a caller really quickly. Let me see. Hello, can you hear me? You're on mute. So, oh no. Can you hear me now? No? Well, Spiros, if you're in, you can call. But you're on mute yourself. So, but yeah, the Alexander thing, the Yildiz thing, like, it is what it is, I guess. That's the way he wants to approach certain games, and that's how he is approaching these type of games now. We're chasing a game, and he waits until the 88th, 7 minute for Yildiz to come on. Like, what do you expect him to do with 7 minutes to go? Like, an extra time is always kind of waste of time, especially if you play a team who's happy with that point. It's pointless. You decided to bring in Alexandro, and I'm still not sure why. But yeah, that happened, and we again need to move on. I can sum up the last 2 months and the next 2 months for y'all to save time. Yeah, no. Like, we knew what was going to happen in that game, by the way. Like, we knew. I don't think anyone is surprised. And Spiros, if you're on mute. Can you hear me? No. Okay. Millet is a good player, but man, he's so slow on the ball. The defense can easily contain him. I thought in the first half he was okay. In the second half, he disappeared like many players. I thought in the first half he was kind of okay, but in the second half, yeah, he completely disappeared. You know, and he had a very very poor
Can you
game.
hear me?
I can hear you. You're on. You're on. Really? Yeah, yeah. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello? No. Let me fix this. Let me bring in the next one. Really quickly. Can you hear me, Anas? No. Should be able to hear me. But yeah. Um, Let me read out the comments really quickly. On top of that, some believe he can win the Coppa Italia. I can guarantee you he won't. Like the way we play, we're not winning the Coppa Italia. Like there's no way. Like we struggle to beat very poor sides. I don't see as how we're gonna win the Coppa Italia like this. Like there's no proof out there. There's nothing to go off to suggest that we're gonna win the Coppa Italia this season. How do you find motivation to literally repeat your old
Hello,
videos?
can you
Cause
hear me?
yeah, yeah, everybody can hear you. By the way, can you hear me? I'm not sure what's going on, but yeah.
I can't
Cause
hear you if you're speaking.
let me check. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Uh, you're on us. You're on. I was reading out a chat really quickly. Um, yeah, I'll talk about the club because there's like what else is there to do? Like it's the same thing week in week out, but that's the only thing we can do at this moment in time. The first half was bland. The second half because we were down, we came back out trying, so we couldn't be productive from start. I cannot really lead that out. I'm sorry, Marlon. I will I will do again in a sec. Nicolucci sub made no sense. Yeah, he was poor. Like bringing on Nicolucci makes sense if you sub out Locatelli. Otherwise, he's it's pointless. It's pointless. Um, how when we only get 5 points, so bad. McKennie being our best player today says a lot, and McKennie deserves credit, by the way. Like I'm not calling out McKennie, but like yeah, like we technically have far better players, and they're all struggling. Anas, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you're on. What do you made of the game?
Well, like you said, it isn't the poorest of games this season, but it was still a sad watch anyway, especially with the atrocious first half we witnessed. I mean, Atalanta weren't also on their day, unlike the match against Sporting, which I've watched too. But yeah, I mean, even the goal we conceded was it is clever from Atalanta because I was also seeing Skamaka like surely Skamaka isn't gonna shoot it, and then like he passed it and it went in. Like oh my god, scope miners again. But yeah, afterwards in the second half we just started to play simple football and scored two quick goals. But then we do what Allegri always does. Sets out a deep block for the last 20 minutes and well, we conceded again. So, yeah, I mean, there's really nothing else to say about the game. Just your normal Allegri throwing away games thing, really. Like,
The
I can't get it anymore just because, like, if you're winning 2-1, at least try to push for a third or may like try to close out the game, even if you're like gonna give the ball to Atalanta. That's something like the deep block that he always does, which is he doesn't know how to do it anymore. And let's not talk about the subs also, which is also another topic which made me angry, especially when I saw Alexandro came on even before Yildiz. But yeah, it's really
but the
my thought on the game.
the deep block or like whatever, like the low block, whatever you want to call it, huh? That's
Yeah, yeah,
like okay, that's not. It's not that we can like we've been so fragile lately. It doesn't make sense. Like the only way out of this is we're gonna need to score more goals, and the players, yeah, they're gonna need to take their chances, obviously. But the low block is done. Like we cannot do that. Like if you concede 11 goals in 7, and we played some ass teams in those, like it is what we play Inter and we play Napoli. Other than that, we played some garbage teams. You know, Atalanta, okay, but Atalanta were poor today. Like they lost 9 games this
yeah,
season for a reason. Atalanta, by the way, like it is what it is. Or like I think it's 9. Like there's a good reason why, you know. And even today, they were poor. Like they didn't do anything, you know. They had 2 shots, and well, they took it. But we cannot be mad because we won games. A lot of them like that this season, so we cannot complain about that. But the low block thing is done. When you have Danilo coming out saying, "Hey, we need to do better," blah blah blah. It's not working. We're conceding goals too easy, and we're conceding goals way too easy at this moment in time. Goals where you look at it and you're like, you shouldn't be conceding that. Chesney should have saved that. Bremen should have read that better. Danilo was extremely slow to get over there and block the shot. Like it's a calamity of quote unquote errors, I guess. But the deep block, it's done. Like there needs to be a way out. That's why at the start, like I woke up and I saw the predicted lineup. I was like, are we just gonna act that Yildiz being benched enough is just okay? Because I know Milik got the goal, but that first half was that was garbage. Like that was poor again, you know. And other than the goal, like it doesn't add much. And again, garbage time minutes. Like this is not Nonge. Like this is Yildiz. He played big part when you were in big trouble up front and you had nobody. He helped you out, us out, and now you give him 5 minutes. And nobody's really talking about that. I think that's very strange. Like not even in the media, where is the outrage? Because it's weird. Like it doesn't make any sense. This is not Nonge or whatever. You picked him up from the next gen yesterday, and you're like, okay, make your debut. This is Yildiz who played very well, and ever since, which game was it? Um, which game was it? Because it was before, it was after the Lecce game. I don't know. It was Empoli. It was Empoli when all the drama
yeah.
started,
Empoli, you're right.
and he was
Yeah,
asked about it, and he was like, "Yeah, but he wasn't good at Verona." That was a flat out lie. He was just very pissed that he was keep getting asked that question, a rightful question to be asked, by the way. Why, ahead of the Inter game, do you bench Yildiz, who's playing very well, for Milik? That was a very valid question, and he got pissed and he said, "Hey, actually, didn't play that well against Verona," which was a lie because he played much better than Milik did today. And yes, Milik got the goal, but Milik wasn't good today. And after the game, he said he was fantastic. And I'm like, he wasn't fantastic. Yes, he got the goal, but you can have a goal and still be poor. And that's my issue.
yeah,
Like that's my entire issue. Like, and then he goes on saying, "Hey, this is the youngest team I had in 3 years." I'm not sure what that even means, by the way. Like, I'm not even sure because that doesn't even sound good to for you as well because you had older teams and you had the same result. So what it like actually like I don't get what he's gaining with certain things.
yeah. Especially with, like you said, Allegri. He's trying to defend a lot of the atrocious players. Like, we're not saying we want Allegri just bash out players. Well, he did call out Yildiz for no reason from that Lecce game, which, funnily enough, it was the last game we've had a clean sheet uh, in. But especially like I said with Yildiz, like I don't know why he isn't using him anymore. Like can like I understand that Keza is back, but if Vlahovic is gone, then I think you should try playing Yildiz and Keza on top
You get your
because
best
also
players
like
on the pitch. Like that like
yeah, exactly.
especially in our moment right now. Somebody said he brought on Sandro because he can play out from the back, so I understand that. I'm like, man, it's 10 like what are like what? Like we are playing we're bringing in a left back or wing back because he's playing better out from the back. Like we're trying to win a game. Like you know how crazy that sounds. Like
Yeah,
that's a
that's
level of
very
excuse
crazy.
making is crazy. Like that doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't even make sense. Like in those
Yeah,
last 50 minutes, we struggle to keep hold of the ball. You bring in the guy who can keep hold of the ball. No, like, isn't that just obvious? Even if he drops in deep, at least he can keep. And he did that. Like he kept hold of the ball, which we needed in those last 15 minutes because we were gone. Like we were lost. Heads were lost. We couldn't keep hold possession anymore. Locatelli was giving it away for fun all game. By the way,
yeah,
I'm
that's
so confused right now. Like the good thing or like the positive news is, or actually not, Fiorentina shouldn't have won that game, but like it like not big damage has been done, basically. And fifth place
yeah.
could be Champions League because it's worrying. Like one game, somebody said as well, and it wasn't a fan. It was on the Zon. I forgot his name, saying people do not need to panic. Like it's 10 points. It's one game, one win in seven, 6 out of 21, and we played Udinese, Verona, Empoli. Like these are the teams. Frosinone, we won late. Like we have Torino, we have Milan, we have Fiorentina, Roma, Lazio, Bologna. Like it's getting tougher. We should be worried. But last question before I bring in the next caller. Um, what is the solution? Because we could like not the big solution in terms of from now and for the next 2 3 years, but from now until the end of the season, because we need to get out of this situation and start winning games again. But how? Like, what is the solution?
It's basically just. I mean, with Allegri, he's just like he should basically just field the best players that are available, and like had the game against Napoli, like even the players that know how to play the ball better, unlike other players. Like we saw the difference between that game and well, today wasn't that bad, but like there's a big difference when you field specific players and they ball out very good in comparison to other players. Like I was glad that Kostic wasn't starting today when it was Meretti and Illing, so it was a bit better than just watching Kostic. Like he's so static. Like I have a lot of static players that Allegri like to field basically. So yeah, just field your best players. Try to I don't know win games in the scrappiest way possible. It's gonna be very hard to do that, but yeah, I mean, we can't demand a play style better than that, especially with Allegri now. So he's so stubborn and everything. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we are able to qualify to the Champions League and not well think it out if, especially we're playing once a week, unlike the other teams around the table. So yeah, that's really about it.
Yeah, let's see. Thanks for calling in. I'm gonna bring in the next one. Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Spiros, can you hear me? Wait, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. I
Okay.
hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're on. Every time you call, it's depressing. like, but
Yeah.
um, I don't think you are shocked about us not beating Atalanta. But again, like, even if you're not shocked, one win out of seven, and like for me now, like playing Sal like 3 years in is a big issue for me, but I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, man, the mental breakdowns throughout those 3 years, mid half through the season, are even worse. Like they're even worse because it happens every single time, and there's no like, and what's even worse is there's no answer to it. Like the coaching staff has no answer to it, and we had different squads, by the way. Like we changed players, and the same issue remain. So I just need to look at coaching as well. I need to look at the management of the group, and I'm like, come on, like what is this? Because the moment we concede, hats are gone. playing well, playing bad, hats are completely gone. And
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. And to top it off, Danilo post game said something very interesting. He said, uh, he said we don't feel that inferior to Inter, and I was like, we are on the pitch, but we shouldn't. Like, is it 15 points? Is it 18 points? That's my like. We shouldn't be that far away from Inter. And I know somebody will say, "Oh, you said Milan gonna win the title." Milan are having a shit season. They should be doing
Yeah.
better. Their fans want purely out because they know this is also not acceptable being that much of Inter. They are having a crap season as well. But what do
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
make of the game, and especially like again like the mental errors?
Yeah, for me, like, first of all, okay, the game, I expect that kind of result. I actually thought we were going to lose because I knew, like, Atalanta played very well with Sporting and all of this. So I was like, yeah, we're probably going to lose this one as well. But then, okay, I saw some good things, but I think, yeah, like it's not enough in my opinion. Like we have to do more, like consistently, like throughout the game. Like you cannot play like 15 minutes very well and 15 minutes badly, and for 20 minutes you don't even you're not even on the pitch. So like, and for me, like this is coaching. Like if you're not even on the pitch, like your head is not there. For me this is also coaching, like because I cannot say like Bologna or Roma right now, or I don't know which team like has a greater mentality than us or something. Like for me this is coaching. Like you are confident enough in what you're doing, and like you go out there and say, okay, we will do this, and let's see, we will go for it. So I don't know, like it's very very confusing, very predictable. Like we have seen it many times now, 3 years now. The comments of Allegri also don't help at all.
Yeah,
So yeah,
he's not helping himself with the comments. Like 3 years in, I'm still waiting, and I can be wrong, and maybe I'm just blanking it out of my memory. I'm still waiting for him to come on and say, "This is also on me," because I need to get these players ready, and they're like not once, does he come out, and even if it's total bullshit, and even if he doesn't believe it, not once does he come out and he says, "You know what? I'm coaching this team. We're not winning for like one win out of seven. It's also on me. Like I need to be better, because I'm putting these guys out there and it's not working. So I need to look at myself." He doesn't say that once. What he says is, "We want a point on Bologna." Unbelievable, but that's what we need to hear. Or um, we play good. We had a good game, and I'm like, you say that every week, and we have one win out of seven. Like, what does that tell you? You know, like,
yeah, but for me, he doesn't really rate the squad. Like every time, like I listen to him, like I'm like, he doesn't like he hates the squad. Like this is what I feel every time, like he talks, like where he says, "Oh, we were younger when we were younger," and "Oh, I needed to play that guy," and I feel like he hates the squad. Like I actually feel that he hates the squad. Like he doesn't rate them at all. I have this feeling. I don't know why. And I have this thought for a while now. Like
you can
from the summer and from the year before, I was like, okay. Like the first year when he came in, I was like, yeah, man. Like okay, like they're not his players. Okay, he got a team very bad build. I was like, okay, okay, okay. But come on, like he gets some players and then he does absolutely nothing with it. And those players play even like even worse, like the players we already have, like Paredes and Di Maria and all these guys. And I don't know, like
that's why
I don't know, like
I like, is the squad great, but like he wanted Paredes, he looked like crap. He wanted Paredes. He looked like shit. He looked so bad. He played Barnechea out of nowhere. So I don't want to hear about he doesn't rate. Like, I know what you mean, and you're probably right, by the way. But like, he got players he wanted, and they looked crap as well. So I don't like. It is what it is. The funny thing was that hey, with Danilo's and the next caller, I will bring you in a sec. I know you're waiting. The 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 Danilo quote afterwards was just hilarious. You know, saying oh, we don't feel inferior to Inter. I'm like, man, the last excuse a lot of people had saying, hey, this team is so worse than Inter, gone, gone because everybody believes Danilo, not me. You know, but I'm gonna use it against people now. It's gone. You know, Inter have a better squad than us, but this is a mental breakdown. Like I don't like when a lot of people praise him for winning, you cannot turn around and say, "Hey, this is a player style." No, like we cannot do that as well. And I know we have injuries and all those things. I get that, but we look inferior to bad teams, even when we had everybody fit. Even last
The players
season,
that were
that's an issue. Like we shouldn't be looking worse than certain teams, and people are living off. I'm sorry, I'm gonna call it delusion. Like they are crazy.
yeah,
People
yeah,
think we play
I agree.
well against Verona. They're gonna look at that game 7 game stretch and they're gonna like we should have won against Verona. We were good. We were better. No, we were crap. Like that game was
No, no,
crap. Like we didn't deserve to win that game at all. A point was good in terms of that was it. We were
no, no.
shit against Verona.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were poor.
They outplayed us. They outplayed us. Like
Yeah,
they opened us up like 2 times, like a three. I don't know. Like it was very bad. It was very very bad.
and against
And we were like
Udinese,
we
probably a
just missed
point.
like 2 chances. Yeah.
Against Udinese,
Sorry,
probably a
sorry.
point, but the game was crap. Like we didn't dominate with chances where you're like, oh my god, how did we lose that game? We lost that game, and I was like, I know how we lost that game. If you got a point, good, but that was about it. Like people are gonna pick like the Napoli game. I will bring it up until the end of the season. We missed chances. Those are missed chances. The first half, people thought we missed chances. We did not miss chances. We had crappy shots from ridiculous places, and that will go in. Chance created 318. That goes in that, by the way. And people look at that. Oh, we created 300 chances. Those are chances. They're not chances, but they're being added to those type of stats. Just look at the game.
Mhm.
Just use your eyes. We like it wasn't good again. The only chance in that second half was I don't know what Gatti and Keane were doing. I thought Gatti pushed Keane. I don't know, like I don't even know what that was. I want to blank that out as well. Like I'm sure how you missed that, but other than that, it wasn't that Kaniseki was under heavy fire. It wasn't like that. Like the shots we had and the chances we were like, but we got back into the game, like you said earlier, and it was very simple. Like we didn't do anything crazy, by the way. It's just give and go, overlap, and boom, it's a goal. It's not gonna happen every time. I get it, but like, hey, very easy. Second goal, Elim picks up McKennie. He lays it off brilliantly. A lot of time and space for Milik to put that away, and we get back on top. Very easy, very simple football, but we see that once in I don't know, like once every 2, 3 games, and that's the
Yeah.
issue. Like 3 years in, I don't know. We don't have anything to fall back on, and all players look at one point in the season. All players look bad. The only players who have not looked bad consistently or any period is probably Bremer and McKennie. Other than that,
I agree.
all players have had a very bad patch. Some all season long, some a couple of weeks, months, and then good again. There's inconsistency, and it's also last season with Di Maria, when we had Dybala, when we had just name the players. It's the same thing. They're very inconsistent players, and I refuse to believe that all these players are that bad. 3 years, like 3 years, all the players we've had are that bad because a lot of these players look bad. So to wrap this one up, I will ask the same question I asked Anas. 10 games left.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know if you think top four is a risk. Fifth place might be Champions League. Actually, you might need to root for Napoli beating Barcelona. We will lose out almost on the World Cup, but fifth place could be a Champions League spot. But 10 games to go. how are we gonna get this over the line? Because at this moment in time, we cannot win games, and we have Torino, Milan, Lazio, Fiorentina, Bologna, Cagliari away, which is always a bad game for us. How do you see us turn this around and actually start winning games?
To be honest, I don't know. Like, I think he needs to play players, not just not just the better players. I think play the players that deserve to play. You know, like they play well, they got their chance. They have to play next game. You know, like Ealing, for example, today. Like he played. I was like, okay, good for him. Like I hope he would play. So okay, or I think, for example, Rugani should play more, in my opinion. Like I know it's a bit like he was playing better than Gatti, so I don't know why. I don't really understand it, to be honest. And then I think um, I think the subs are very bad. If he can fix that a bit, I don't know,
No.
because they are very bad. Like they're like I don't really understand. Like when he brings Sandro on, like I think he just does it because like or he wants to show like the management or the fans like, oh, you know, look, well, like I work with scrubs or with bad players or something like that. I don't know, or I don't know. Like he's like, okay, I don't care about the result. Let my bodies play, you know. So I don't know. Like
I,
he is like for 2 minutes, three. How many did he play? I don't even know. Like I don't understand. Like he puts out Cambiaso. Like Cambiaso was playing very well. Like I don't know. Like I don't understand. Like
and that was bad.
where also like where like, it's not like it doesn't even make sense. Like where he's not playing well at all, and we're not also using him well. So what's the point? Like I don't see it. Like I don't understand. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that Cambiaso. Like I was looking at the subs and I was like, I have no idea what's happening here, but whatever, you know. Miretti for Nicolucci, okay. Milik for Keane, I guess, but it was getting worse. But Spiros, thanks for calling in
Thank, thank you.
again, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, what's your name? Aiden. Okay, wait. Let me know. Okay, wait. You're not on. I will bring you on now, really quickly. Okay, Aiden. Next caller. You're on. Where are you from, by the way?
I'm from the United States.
Okay. So you're gonna wake up extremely early on Sunday to watch Genoa, as I guess.
Yep, yep. Forgot about that. 7:30. At least
Yeah.
I'm not on West Coast.
Oh, so it's not 6:30 for you. It's wait,
No, it's 7:30. But the for
1
the
hour.
West Coast guys, it's 4:30.
That's that's brutal. That's like it's 12:30 over here and it's already bad. You know, like it's too early to have that on.
I I originally wasn't gonna wake up for that, but it's like Frosinone. I woke up because I thought, okay, this might be our only win in a while. Like,
You're right.
based on the previous run of form.
Yeah, you're right. You know, it was our only win, but
Yeah.
um, I think it's the
Thank you,
first time I
Rugani.
have you on. I think it's the first time I have you on. So yeah, 2-2. Like just like what do you make of this one, or just the entire 7 game stretch? I guess.
Of this game in particular, I was very frustrated at the first half because we at the very least we had more intensity in the second half until we conceded the second goal, in which case or after we scored our second goal, I think we dropped off again. But like when we were pushing, we seemed to have this intensity. Like they really wanted to get that goal, and I feel like they kind of dropped off again after Milik scored.
We tend to do that. You know.
Yeah.
Is it a like I don't. I don't think it's a player's issue, by the way, because yeah, you can lack quality, but it's a mindset to just keep going, I guess, and that's my biggest point. When we can see goals, defensively we conceded 11 goals in the last seven. I think it's fair to say that sitting back and soaking up pressure is not the way to go for this team anymore. Like the last couple of games,
Right.
you cannot really do that. We're not solid. No matter who you play at the back, we're not solid. The team lost the fighting spirit. And again, when we were not conceding goals, I've come on so many times and I've said the back line is not good. It's the fact that we sit back with a lot of people. That's why we don't concede. But now it feels like a lot of these players are like, I'm not gonna run that extra yard because what's the point? Inter are so far ahead. That's an issue.
I saw in the Roma game, I forgot who it was, but it was the right back. Like I don't think it mattered. I don't I wasn't listening to the game, but I saw like he to try to prevent a throw in for
Yeah,
Fiorentina
yeah.
in the dying minutes. He ran, he made the tackle, went to the goalie, and what do you know? They go up the other end, score 2-2, which could be huge for them in the end. Um, they're only 3 points off Bologna now, but like we didn't have that. I think.
We don't have that for a couple of weeks now. Like the fighting,
Yeah.
like the spirit or like whatever, like the belief is gone. And again, okay, fine, you need to move on. Like it's a month ago now, but like literally a month ago, even more, that you since you lost against Inter, just get over with it. And the fact that players talk about it post game every single time worries me big time. Because we've seen it in the past, like total mental breakdowns throughout midway throughout the season, no matter who we play. If we had Paredes, if we had Di Maria, if we had Dybala, like Morat, like it happened throughout 3 years now. That's a real big time issue. It's even more worrying than actually having no style of play. Like it really is, because it means like it tells me that you can squeeze a lot out of a group, but with the little setback, you lose the entire group. And they're like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. Like, what's the point? That tells me that even the players are like, this is not sustainable. It was working, but now it's not working, and forget about it. That's how they look out there as well. In terms of when I watched them play, especially in that first half, I was like, yeah, like they're
Yeah.
not bothered. Like they're not bothered really. They're just going through the motions until the end of the season. That's the vibe you're getting off of them. But I will ask you, um, because his best friend or mentor spoke in the week, and he talked about substitutions. And he said like he lost his magic a little bit in that. Yes, the quality lacks as well. And then he went on a rant about Saka and all that. I don't know what he was talking about. But the subs, the last 7 weeks, they have been a disaster. And it's
Who is saying this?
Gaglione, who is his mentor, who probably will
Oh,
speak again this week, most likely. Um, but the subs he made again, like the last couple of weeks, but today I was baffled when I saw Alexandro come on before Yildiz. I was like, I don't even know how to comment on that, because what has Yildiz done wrong to be put in quote unquote the doghouse, in my opinion? Like, can you explain to me what the issue is? Because in his presser pre-game, he said it was a lot of hype about Yildiz, and now like he's back in like back to word, I guess. And you need to give him 5 minutes. I thought that was a bit insulting. I'm sorry. I know he's 19 or whatever, but what was that about? Like,
I thought he would try and bring him on for Illing. Like, I didn't expect the
nobody did.
Alexandro sub. I didn't expect that. I thought it would be because Alexandro came on for Illing, right?
Yeah, yeah. Alexander came on for Junior. Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting I I'm still laughing about that. But I was expecting yeah, Illing to come off and Yildiz to come on in like the 80th minute, but instead it was Alexandra. I'm like, how is this how is this gonna win us the game?
Well, apparently he plays great out from the back, which I've missed the last couple of years. I guess I'm not like that slipped my mind. The only thing he does, he carries the ball to a certain point, like a fixed point in the pitch on the pitch, just quite about like 5 yards of half in the opponent's field, and then he just kicks it back. That's what he does, you know. So again, like we couldn't keep hold of the ball. You just bring on the player who can keep hold of the ball. At least do that, you know, and maybe we can move up the pitch a little bit. And then you give him 5 minutes, scrappy minutes. Like extra time is always scrappy. It's all chaos when you're chasing a game or trying to win a game. And I'm like, what is this? Like he was playing so bad, and ever since the media was on his back with that Milik decision against Empoli, I don't know what he has against Yildiz. Like I feel like it's petty. Like I'm sorry, you know, because he didn't say anything when he played against Verona, and he wasn't bad against Verona. And he was asked about a question. He said he was actually not good against Verona, you know, and that's why he benched him basically. Milik, he was poor today. Like he got the goal, fair play. He wasn't good. Post game, excellent game from Milik. He says, "I'm like, you're lying. Like you're just lying. That was not an excellent game. I'm sorry. Like if that's
He said
excellent,
excellent.
yeah." He said like he had a fantastic game. I'm really happy for him. Second half, brilliant. I'm like, talk about that first half because you wanted to talk about Yildiz bad moments in that Verona game. Talk about Milik's bad first half, I guess. But you refuse to do that. And on top of that, he goes like he was asked about, man, 1 win out of 7.
So wait, he taught. I don't really pay attention to press conferences because they just pissed me off a lot last year. So wait, he spoke bad about Yildiz
No,
after
no,
the Verona game,
after the Empoli game, you know,
after
when
the Empoli,
because we played
the
Verona
Empoli
before
game.
that. Yeah, because we benched Yildiz and he played Milik and Milik picked that red card. Ever since that moment,
Oh God.
he was like ever since that moment, Yildiz has been in and around, you know, basically. You know, not
Yeah,
the
he
quote
was
unquote
like
main guy.
he was not maybe in when he wasn't starting, he was getting game time, and he was impacting. You know, I remember the Lecce game. He did something. I
Lecce,
think he
not
has.
Verona, excuse me. I keep messing. It was Lecce away, excuse me, not Verona. It was Lecce away. You know, he said he
I
played
don't.
poorly against Lecce, and then after he benched him against Empoli, Milik picked up the red card, and the media was on his back. And ever since that, out of nowhere, he said he was poor against Lecce. He didn't say that after the Lecce game. He said that after everybody was questioning him for benching him for Milik ahead of Inter. And ever since that moment, I don't know what happened.
I don't know. That's just that's strange behavior, and I'm not gonna lie. I can't really explain that.
But same question for you. We have 10 games left, and I don't know them out of the top of my head, but we play Torino, we play Genoa, we play Lazio, we play Milan, we play Fiorentina, Bologna, Cagliari, and I'm not sure who the rest of the teams are out of the top of my mind. Cagliari, I said Cagliari. I'm not sure who the other teams are, but tough games in there, you know. The Bologna one is not the last one. It's the I don't think it's the last one, but at that time it should be wrapped up. But tough games are coming up. How do you think we should be? How do you think we can get out of this moment? Because 1 win out of 7, we cannot win games at this moment. And like, so
Yeah,
how
I
do you
mean,
think it could? Yeah,
I I'm glad it's only 10 games. To be honest, I'm glad I'm glad we only have 10 games left. I thought we had more, but I mean, looking at the fixtures, Genoa at home's got to be a win. Salernitana at home,
oh,
Monza at home has
Salernitana,
got to be a
Monza
win.
at home. Okay, I blanked. Oh, those are poor sides.
Yeah, I just looked at the fixture list, but we've got a tough like aside from aside from Inter, before we played Napoli, we played I think teams in the bottom six, and
Yep.
we had that poor run, and now we're I think no team. Genoa is the worst team we're facing the rest of the season and in the table, if on paper. So that doesn't really bode well. Or aside from Salernitana, of course, but other than that, it doesn't bode well. Looking at the fixture list, the only the only thing is we're 10 points clear, but we have to play Bologna away, Roma away as well. That's the scary part, in my opinion.
That is scary.
Um, and I think those are our toughest away games.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
we have some other games like Milan at home, Fiorentina at
We
home,
have
Lazio
Lazio
away,
away.
but
Yeah.
I think the big ones are, oh God, they're in the final four games of the season.
Yeah,
Roma away, Bologna away.
it should be
Those are
wrapped.
very late on.
It should be wrapped up. Like you're 10 points clear. Last
But if
four
it's
games,
not though, if
that's
it's
an
not
issue.
though,
Yeah,
that's
that's an issue. That's like you at this moment in time. We need to hope that the other teams drop point. That's when Roma scored at the end. I was like, yeah, not good for us. Like we need every single point. Not coming from us, but also from other teams. We need other teams to start dropping more points than we are dropping, which sounds basically impossible at this moment in time.
right. So yeah, 58. Do you think I don't because I don't think we'll get. I think Italy will get the fifth spot based on how the teams are doing,
At,
but
yeah,
still, fifth and sixth is only 1 point in it, so it's not going to make that much of a difference.
no, no. Like it's actually sad that we're talking about that. Like it's actually really sad that
Yeah.
we are discussing the fact that hey, we might drop to fifth. And 10 points like that, it's a lot, man. 10 points is a lot. Like it's not nothing, but I think everybody feels like it's not safe. We cannot win games, and other teams are capable of winning games. Now we're in a dogfight, and we cannot, like, we're not ready to fight. Like we are the puppy in the
Right.
dogfight, and we're gonna get we're being bullied. Like we're not up for it, and it's like what I don't like as well are too many excuses. Oh, Vlahovic wasn't there. I'm like he was there in that 7 game stretch as well. So were other players. Like we still did not win games. Like too many excuses are being made today. Yes, the midfield was missing, but I don't thought that was much of an issue. Because I don't think Atalanta was that good. It wasn't that much of an issue that we had Miretti in there, McKennie with one shoulder, and Locatelli. I don't think Atalanta were that good. So I,
Yeah,
I
they
don't.
were. I mean, they were kind of average, um, from games that I've seen,
They
but they
played
are
on
in a
Tuesday.
difficult. They're in a difficult Tuesday. Well, I mean, yeah, I forgot. I forgot. We also have our added advantage of playing once a week,
It's ridiculous. You know
and
that one.
forgot about that.
That one. Like at the start of the season, it was like, oh, it's good, and now it's like, oh, it's not good because you train, but the more games you get more experience. I'm like, come on, like pick one and stick with it. From like, you cannot have it both ways. We play once a week. You have a lot of time to prepare stuff, and we look unprepared. And to top it off, Pasalic confirmed that today. He said with that free kick goal, he said we try to do that basically every week. However, it fails because clubs, opponents study us. It happened today, and I was like, that is a shot. Even when that free kick was being lined up, I was looking and I was like, you're missing a guy over there. There were four, we were at three. Like coaching, okay, but even the players on the pitch, not one was like, hey, hold on, we have an issue here because they are in an advantage. They have four players on this side. We are with three. That all
Yeah,
goes
I
into the
don't.
mixer of they're not prepared. Like they're not really focused.
I mean, like, I don't. There's not many teams that would concede a goal like that. Like it was almost. It was kind of comical the way like Verona wouldn't concede it. Empoli, like you could make up a team. Like I don't know, Jutelheim would not concede a goal like that. Like we, but we're in this reality where we're like we're conceding. If you're conceding goals like that, it doesn't bode well.
No,
And
it doesn't.
and I mean, for some part of me is glad we're not in the Champions League this season, but because like
It would have been bad.
I mean we would I don't think we'd do so well.
Yeah.
Maybe first half of we get out of the group, but
You think
then
we lost against Maccabi? You know, we got
oh
smoked by
yeah, true.
Benfica. Like,
If we got like if we got who got an easy group? Like if we got uh like Napoli's group, we probably would get out, but otherwise,
I don't trust this team to do anything. I don't trust this team to do anything. But yeah,
speaking of Napoli, I our Club World Cup hangs in the balance.
yeah, I said it earlier.
Uh,
But I think
you
the
did.
information is wrong on social media. So if they win, they're still not officially in. They need 5 points. A win is 2 points. Qualification for the next round is a point extra. So they need 5 points now. If they win, they qualify, obviously. They still need 2 points. A draw is 1 point. That's from the official website.
Hmm.
So I've seen a lot
That's
of
from
things about if
FIFA.
they win, they're in. Apparently, that's not the case. They still need 5 points, and um, they can collect three if they, qualify this week. You know,
Hmm.
but I
Well,
said as a joke, I
I'd
said,
rather just them lose and not not have to
yeah,
worry
yeah,
about it.
like like it's a poison thing. Like if they lose, Italy might lose out on the fifth place. Who knows? But
Oh yeah,
if they win, you get the fifth place, but you also miss out on 50 million euros next summer.
yeah, but I think
Yeah,
Roma the Roma are doing well. Fiorentina are gonna go far in the Conference League because it's the Conference League. Um, Atalanta, I think they'll get through Sporting. That's a tough one. Sporting are top of Portugal, so they're also fighting on different fronts, but they should. I think they'll get past Sporting. Um, they could get knocked out though. Inter will probably go through against
yeah,
Atletico. Um, although I would love to see Morata masterclass against
yeah.
Inter,
It's not gonna happen.
like the good old days.
The- yeah, it's not gonna happen. But let's see. I think let's see, man. Aiden, it was right, Aiden. Um,
Yes.
thanks for calling in, man.
Mhm.
And hopefully, hopefully you have a good early Sunday. I don't know. Like hopefully we will have a good game on Sunday against Genoa, and then we have two away games to look forward to. Actually, I think there's an international break in between, which is much welcome at this moment in time. Like 2 weeks without this club, I think we all need that, to be honest. But
Mm.
thanks for calling in,
Oh
man.
yeah, that's it's a good time to have an international break.
It's a perfect time. It's a perfect time.
Yeah.
No, thanks for calling in, Aiden, and
Mm.
speak to you soon.
Mm. Thank you.
Ciao. Okay. That was it, man. Did the live show, did my match reaction. I have a video out tomorrow. I will be live tomorrow with members to, talk it over again, and then it's build up towards Genoa, I guess. Uh, thanks everybody who joined, who called in. Like the video if you have not liked it, and if you're rewatching it, smash the like button as well. Thanks everybody. Have a good evening. Speak to you tomorrow.